Alice and Bob want to invest in the stock market. At the moment, they both have 0 stocks and different opinions. Alice wants to buy 10 Company X stocks, hoping that the price will go up and she will make a profit. This is also referred to as going long. Bob, on the other hand, believes Company X will not be profitable, so he would sell the stocks, expecting for the price to go down. But how can he possibly sell if he has no stocks to begin with? In this video, we'll talk about what short selling is, how it works, and which are the risks associated with it. Let's have a look at Bob and Company X. The price of one stock is $10. Based on the news and latest rumors, Bob is quite sure that Company X will soon run into trouble and the price of the shares will go down. He therefore decides to take advantage of this price movement by betting against the company and short selling the stocks. Bob logs in his brokerage account, searches for Company X, selects 100 stocks at the price of $10 per stock, and clicks on the red short button. Now let's see what's happening behind the curtain. The broker receives his requests and finds 100 Company X stocks in the market that are borrowed by other investors. Then, he sells the 100 stocks on the market for Bob. At this moment, Bob has an open shorting position of 100 stocks. He was right. The stocks of Company X went down from $10 to $5. He considers that at $5 per stock, the company is properly valued, so he decides to close his position. In order to do so, Bob has to cover his position by paying back the borrowed stocks. This means he has to buy back the stocks sold in the market. Since the price went down, he has to pay only $5 per stock. Bob borrowed 100 shares for $10, sold them with $10, took the money, and then he bought them back with $5 per share, resulting in a profit of $5 per stock, which means $500 in total. An important aspect to be kept in mind here is that the existence and the number of open short positions in the open market will increase the pressure on Company X by the increased selling pressure associated. On the other hand, traders closing short positions acts as a relief for the company because closing a short position translates into buying a stock. An unbalance between long and short positions might lead to some interesting scenarios in the market. Let's use a rather extreme example to illustrate it. Let's assume there are 10 active investors in the market. 8 of them have open short positions and 2 of them have long positions. This puts a lot of selling pressure on Company X and the likelihood of the price to drop from $10 grows. Then an unexpected event occurs. A new investor decides to buy many shares. As a result, the price of a stock increases to $12. This makes 4 out of the investors decide to close their positions and accept the loss. However, when closing the short positions, they have to buy back the stocks, which causes the price to increase even more, to $14. For the remaining short sellers, the loss is even greater, so they are forced to close their positions, which will further increase the stock price. This situation is called a short squeeze. Shorting a stock is the opposite of buying a stock or going long in many aspects. But it is not the opposite when it comes to the associated risk. It is in fact way riskier. The difference resides in the fact that a stock which is valued at $10 has a limited room to go down and reach zero, while there is no upper limit for how high it can go. In other words, if one goes long with $10, he can lose maximum $10 if the price reaches zero. On the other hand, going short with $10 can cause a loss of $40 if the price reaches $50. Because of this, shorting cannot be done via normal cash accounts. The investor or the trader has to open a margin account instead. Simply put, the investor has to place an initial margin of 50% in the event that the trade loses value. This amount belongs to the investor, but the broker keeps it as collateral to ensure that the investor can buy back the stocks in the future. If the price of the stock went up, the investor is responsible for what is known as margin calls, when the existing margin is not sufficient to take further losses. At this moment, the investor can either contribute more money to keep the position open, or his position is closed at the current losses. Depending on the used brokers, the investor can receive protection for negative balance for his account. Anyway, this is not always the case, so reading the agreements when opening a broker account is strongly recommended. The key takeaways from this video are: short selling a stock means betting against the company. Shorting is executed via borrowing stocks in order to return them, with the plan to buy them back at a lower price and sell them to the owner. Shorting a stock is a more riskier practice than going long. Although short sellers might be regarded as the bad guys on the market, their existence actually strengthens the market by exposing which companies' stock prices are too high. In their search for overvalued companies, short sellers can expose problems, inconsistencies, or other questionable practices for different companies, acting as a protective shield for the market at large.